In the studio today is Somto Ajuluchukwu. He's the creative director of Vortex Inc. And I'm going to let him explain to you why Vortex Inc. is awesome and why you all need to know about them. Welcome to the show.
Thanks for having me.
You look slightly worried or weary.
No, there's so many cameras, so many lights. I'm good. I'm all right.
It's, you know that you guys are doing such amazing work. And you know what? Let me not jump the gun. Tell us what Vortex Inc. is all about.
Vortex Inc. is a creative content company. We are keen on exporting African culture, but through the media of cartoons and comic books.
Did you hear that, guys?
Basically, we started last year, July, and we've published over 30 comics since then. Basically, that's what we are about. We just like telling never-ending stories and bringing out African culture in the best way we can.
Do you have a favorite story out of the comics you've published so far?
Well, I wouldn't say I have favorite stories because we have creators and I can't
you don't just want to get into trouble. All right, okay. But can you tell us what will stand out or what stands out with your characters?
Well, our leading character is Strike Guard. It's what people have gravitated towards the most. It's about a Unilag student that gets murdered by a cultist group, and his body gets dumped in a pit, but the pit is the same burial ground for Ajagbeja, which was an Asian deity back in prehistoric times. So he comes back to life through Ajagbeja, and so we put it out in Unilag the first time, and all the students kind of connected. And, we had anti-cultism, messages. So basically, that has the largest fan base. But we have titles like June 12. Which is a spirit hero that fights against corrupt politicians and law officials. We have Agbara, which is a fallen angel. We have a lot of other titles.
But all very centered around African, well, Nigeria, I would guess, Nigerian culture, Nigerian mythology, which I find really, really fascinating. So is there any possibility that these might actually become like cartoons, or like we have the whole Spider-Man franchise and all that? Do you see that happening?
Yeah, I mean that's the vision. Like when we create these things, we always think like at some point in the future, they get ported into games, they get ported into movies, animation flicks, even like franchise association, like the same way the Marvel characters have a relationship with McDonald's. So that's the future, and what we're trying to focus on currently is to promote these characters, so people love them and people see themselves through these characters, and can connect and grow that fan base, grow the audience.
Where can people find your comics?
www.vortex247.com. We have cross stores with Conga, so you can search for us up on Conga as well for print comics. Lagos Comic Con was last week, so there were a lot of comics there as well.
And I find that so interesting that Lagos is developing a comic culture. And I think perhaps that might be because we have so many people who grew up with comics. But I like the fact that we're bringing it back home.
Yeah, and there's a lot of talent, so wherever there's a existing like pool of talent, in illustration, in animation, companies will rise from it because people begin to see opportunity and seeing it more than just being able to draw, being able to animate. They look at it as a viable business, and with the present economy, diversity is important.
It's important, and
content is the future. Just like what EL stands for, like content is the future. So
that was very nicely done, by the way. Yeah.
So people need to look outward. People need to look around and look at other things that are going on. And see how they could key into it. And another thing that we're trying to focus on is changing the narrative of what Made in Africa is.
Interesting.
Changing the narrative of what the African story is. Most of the time, international media makes Africa look like pot-belly, no shoes. We need
had this very same conversation last week.
So like we're trying to change that narrative. We're trying to tell our own stories. Not let people tell it for us. So this is how our deities were. So there's no Hollywood movie that makes our deities look different.
I think for me the most fantastic thing about what you're doing personally, I grew up reading a lot of books. Now I grew up reading Enid Blyton, the famous 5 Secret 7. I wanted lashings of ginger beer and a secret tent in the woods. We don't have woods here.
Yeah, you know, every kid had blue eyes.
Do you understand? And blonde hair. And growing up, especially as I grow older, I'm realizing how much my perception was influenced by those books. I'm very excited that there's a generation of children growing up that will grow up with the heroes that we know, people who look like us, who think like us, who have the same perceptions and perspectives as us. For me, it's a really big deal that you guys are doing that.
Yeah, I appreciate you look at it that way. I mean, that's all we've based our entire business on, and I guess it's honest, and the honesty is, you know, made it, you know, it's gotten enough traction, you know, both from international media. You know, they want to do stories on us, but when we're trying to do those stories, we make sure that they don't call us superheroes, because we don't make superheroes, we make spirit heroes. And spirit heroes, because African people, we don't believe much in like science and, you know, technology and, you know, teleporting into outer space, and you know that's no.
But we have the things that our spirit heroes do that they are known for.
And they are known for, you know, such as our tradition is key. So that plays a major role in our comics, and you know how our characters are perceived, and you know how they relate with the environment. So basically, that's our passion, and that's what we're trying to put out there.
Fantastic, fantastic. Guys, you guys really need to get on the Vortex train. It's really impressive stuff they're doing. And I think that even you will find yourself engaging with your history and culture in a very different way, from a prouder, more conscious, more aware perspective, because this is your story that is getting told. I think so. But thank you so much for coming to share your amazing work. And we look forward to following, you know, your franchises literally as things grow and they develop.
Thank you.
It's a pleasure. Guys, another quick break. We'll be right back.